Hi folks, this is All the Fruit, and in the beautiful city of Sriaman in Borneo, we found a Muslim cemetery with giant fruit trees, and most of them seem to be giant ancient mango trees of a size I've rarely seen anywhere in the world. This big cemetery is basically east to southeast of the road Jalan Pasir Panas in the city of Sriaman. Oh, and look at those magnificent trees. It's difficult to get them in one frame. And here, by the way, if you are wondering, a cluster of sago trees. Approaching the cemetery might not be the easiest thing because in those lowland areas prone to frequent flooding, there are canals everywhere. Those little Malayu villages or kampungs, which probably when they are around big or small cities, you should rather call them neighborhoods, although they still call them kampung or village, are very rich in interesting fruit trees, but most of those are quite young. However, on the cemeteries, they often can live to a very high age. And now let's go and explore those trees. Here we can easily jump over the ditch. Well, this tree is not a mango tree, but a champedak tree. Here, a huge tree has fallen down, and cemetery or not, timber is timber. So it has been cut into planks. Here people can basically build a whole house just with a chainsaw and a hammer and a bag of nails. From trees to a house, with a chainsaw they fell the tree, they cut it into planks, and often in the houses you see those signature traces from the blade of a chainsaw. They don't need a sawmill or anything, they just need a chainsaw, a hammer and a bag of nails. That's enough to make a house. The base of this tree is hollow. I don't know if it was a mango tree or something else, and now it's being slowly reabsorbed into the ecosystem. Here we are at the trees which are still alive. Could this be some mango species? I'm not so sure. There are a couple mango species here with similar leaves, but there are also a lot of other trees with similar leaves. And I don't see any fruits under this tree. I know they like to have ancient mango trees on their graveyards, but I cannot be completely sure what those trees on this graveyard are. By the way, of course, before entering the graveyard, we asked the guy who is working on the roof over there if it is okay for you to enter and visit the graveyard, and he said yes, of course, no problem. So I hope we are not trespassing here. A young rambutan tree. Rambutans are totally in season right now. An incredible amount of fruits on the trees and on the markets. And here the next ancient tree. However, again, I cannot see a single fruit up there. Let's see if there is something down here. Oh yes, there are mangoes underneath this tree. Interesting smell. What do you think this is? Is this some plum, or I mean the shape is a little bit like some plum, but the smell is like some pau. Is this Mangifera indica or maybe Mangifera pentandra? A very interesting shape. Quite unusual for a sampao, but the flavor is quite unusual for Mangifera indica. Oh well, guess we need to try it. Wow, very liquid. Tastes exactly like orange juice. This could actually be manga air or Mangifera what was manga air? Mangifera laurina. Yeah. What do you think? My beautiful but camera shy assistant opener. What do you think? Is this a some plum, a some pau, or something you haven't tried before? I mean, it has a different smell than a some plum.
Yeah.
A some plum is are old Mangifera indica varieties. It has a different shape than a some pau, than the Mangifera pentandra. And the inside is very liquid and tastes exactly like orange juice, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this seems to be Mangifera laurina. Okay, my assistant might be really camera shy, but I made her show at least everything but her face. And as you can see, well, she's not a very big girl, but look at the size of this mango tree next to her. I've seen bigger mango trees here in Borneo, but this is definitely one of the biggest ones. Next to it is another slightly smaller tree, and here, going back towards the okay, this strange camera angle didn't work out so well. The ground is covered with champedak seeds. Here is an old champedak fruit, and here the old champedak tree. Might not be as big as the mangoes, but as you can see, it is also pretty old. The next giant mango tree, no fruits lying underneath this one. Here is again the assistant size compared to the tree. Here is the first tree where we didn't find any fruits, together with the old champedak tree. Seems mango trees can get very old, but champedak trees cannot. And this graveyard should be quite old. Those are ironwood grave markers, so they should be, well, they should be, the graveyard should be well over 100 years old, because even in this tropical climate, which is the most devastating for any type of wood, ironwood can last up to 200 years. An old mango seed here on the ground. Look at the beautiful pattern. A lot more champedak trees, like the most common trees on this graveyard seem to be mango and champedak. Another one over there. This is one of the old champedak varieties with those pretty small fruits. Big modern varieties can have fruits which are like 5, 6, 7 times heavier. Squirrel or tupai going up this champedak tree. Well, it's not a true squirrel. Tupai is actually closer related to primates than to real squirrels. And yeah, in Malayo villages, they are being left alone mostly. If this was an Iban village, this squirrel would be lunch. More champedak trees and the more modern part of the graveyard. As you can see, the graveyard is on slightly elevated ground. Here it's even more elevated. Of course, in an area prone to flood, you want to have your graveyard slightly elevated, otherwise the water works as a preservative. And here, the new graves, there is a tarp over them so that the rain doesn't cause too much erosion. And here, a bunch of manioc. This part of the graveyard is even more elevated on a hill, and so many old champedak trees. I wonder if champedak and mango have some special significance, because, well, it could be that this graveyard was made in an old champedak and mango orchard, so the trees were here before the graves, or it could be that they have some significance for the local Muslim Malayu population. See here, the lowland, which is prone to flooding, no graves. The graves are either on the hill or on this slightly elevated terrain here. Here an oil palm, here again sago palms, matua or crystal fruit, and 2 types of pandanus. The cultivated pandanus with the small leaves, which is used as a spice, and in the background big wild pandanus, which is used for weaving mats, baskets and everything else. mushrooms growing here on the graveyard, really beautiful. Even more here. Such a wonderful place of peace and serenity. I love this graveyard. It's so nice. The graves among the old champedak trees. The seeds in this champedak fruit germinating like crazy, new life on the graveyard. In the distance, you can once again see the giant mango trees. From very far away I thought those could be durians, but they looked a little bit off. That's one reason we came into this area. Some huge trees which are the size of durians but look a little bit off. How high do you think they are? Do they have 30 meters? 30 meters is not much for a durian tree, but it's quite a height for a mango. Here one of the biggest and most impressive champedak trees. They don't grow to the size and age of the mango trees, but this is still well over a meter thick and probably over 15 meters high. One of the biggest, maybe the biggest champedak tree I've ever seen. It's actually probably well over it's not 1.5 meters thick. Assistant, assist please with your body. So here is my assistant, which is 164, and the tree is probably not 1 meter, well, she's 1 meter 64 tall, so the tree might be 1 meter 30, 1 meter 40 in diameter. Impressive for a champedak tree, totally impressive. A couple more champedak trees, a considerably younger mango tree. More champedak trees in the background. A mango seed on the ground which looks different. Oh, and it's already sprouting. We have reached the top of the little hill. Almost on the top there is a mango tree. I wondered if somebody is harvesting those fruits on the graveyard. Now I think someone is, because those planks here, they form sort of a ladder with which you can access the tree, which we are not gonna do now. But I still want to know what this is. This is more or less the shape of a sampao, but this smell just fermented. Can you find me a fruit which is not yet fermented so that we can smell it? Big size. This also just smells fermented, but fruity fermented. Aha, finally one that's not rotten. I think it's a sun plum, it's Mangifera indica. Tasty. Yeah, this totally tastes like a sun plum. Now I know why they have this leather. Wow, this is one of the best sun plum I've ever had. My assistant has found another, smaller but more yellow. Tasty. And another bigger and even more yellow. Nah, this one has already been enjoyed by someone. I would say so far that the taste of this one is the best. Wow, good fruit. We need more. This one is a little bit rotten, but I think we can extract something from it. Oh, a really nice big one and no traces of rotting. And one big pineapple. No, we are not gonna be Richards and harvest this. Probably somebody has been looking at this for weeks or months and waiting to harvest it. We are not gonna take it away from them. However, mango harvest is It's plentiful. Oh, somebody has already enjoyed this one. Pity, it looked so nice. Well, I guess harvesting this is okay since we are still outside of the cemetery. The tree is just at the border of the cemetery. The fruits we are collecting are outside of the cemetery. I don't know the exact rules and conventions here. I hope that we are not doing anything blasphemous, but since they are... Oh, look at this. This looks like a basilisk, but the basilisk is a South American lizard. Well, beautiful lizard. I don't know the rules and conventions here. I hope we are not doing anything blasphemous. Please tell me if we are. In this case, we would be very sorry. But yeah, I think right now we are already outside of the cemetery, and so collecting... Oh no, this is not good. Collecting a couple mangoes from the ground should be okay here. Also, as you can see, the growth under the tree has been cleared so that the fruits can be collected. So I guess it's okay to collect fruits here. I also think this is abandoned, so we are not taking anything away from any particular person. However, the surroundings look very interesting. This area down there, and especially the next little hill, which seems to be an acting ancient fruit forest. Well, I guess I know where we are heading next. Here one look over the champeraks and a couple smaller mango trees from above. The mango which is on top of the hill. And up there you can see one mango fruit still hanging. And now we are slowly going back. This is another quite old champedak tree. Down here is the one we filmed with my assistant. It has quite a nice tall trunk. This one is branching from the ground, but I think near the ground it will be thicker. What will I do without my assistant? Look at this beautiful thick tree. It might be two stems, but it is definitely thicker than she's tall. A young jungle durian tree here. This looks a lot like Durio cuteiensis. The leaves are considerably bigger than Durio graveolens. However, I cannot see any fruits on or around the tree. Is this a jackfruit or a champedak? Fruits are quite elongated. Could it be a modern champedak variety, a big fruited one? What do you think, assistant? Or is it a jackfruit? Champedak. Okay, we'll go with champedak. Here, the first group of mango trees from another perspective. They are truly gigantic. Look at them. So here, once again, our assistant in comparison, in size comparison with the mango trees. She's still far in front of the mango tree group. She might look like she's already underneath the trees, but wait. See how she's being dwarfed and almost disappearing, while I'm still so close that I cannot catch the mangoes completely in one frame, but she's already the size of a tiny squirrel. Now she has approached the big mango and reached the stem. Impressive. One of the biggest mangoes I've ever seen anywhere in the world. I've seen thicker ones. I'm not sure if, I think I've seen taller ones, but those are definitely among the thickest and the tallest. So folks, this was maybe the most impressive mango stand I've seen anywhere in the world. Here at the old Muslim cemetery near the, well, in the city of Sriaman in Borneo. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich city of Sriaman in Borneo. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.